Hey everyone, welcome! Today we're going to dig in, literally, to something you probably have in your kitchen right now. An ingredient so common we just take it for granted. Yep, we're talking about the humble potato.
So let me ask you, when I say potato, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's probably fries, right? Or chips, or maybe just the word carbs. It's kind of got this reputation as a simple, starchy side dish. But what if I told you there's a whole other side to the potato that we've been missing out on?
You know, in some parts of Europe, they call it the Earth's apple. I mean, just listen to that. The Earth's apple. Doesn't that just completely change how you think about it? It sounds so much more valuable, and it hints at this whole nutritional powerhouse hiding just beneath the skin. Okay, so let's get right into it. We're going to tackle the biggest misconception about the potato head on. It's time to bust this carb myth wide open and find out where potatoes really fit into a healthy diet. So, the number one myth: potatoes are just empty starch that'll make you pack on the pounds. But here's the fact: it's actually a recognized health food. You know why? It's all about how full they make you feel. Potatoes score super high on what's called the satiety index. They help you feel satisfied, so you end up eating less overall. And they have this really cool kind of paradoxical effect. For thinner folks, they can help build a stronger body. And for those carrying a little extra weight, they can actually help with slimming down.
And believe me, it does not stop at weight management. Let's get into a couple of other powerful health benefits that might actually surprise you, starting with how they can boost our core vitality and digestion.
In mainland China, the name for potato is tu do, which literally translates to earth bean. And there's a beautiful idea behind this. In traditional Chinese medicine, foods that grow deep in the earth, like potatoes, are thought to absorb its grounding, nourishing energy. So eating them helps to strengthen our own digestive core, what they call the spleen and stomach system. And speaking of our digestive system, let's talk about something really common. If you've ever dealt with constipation, well, you're not alone. And the humble potato might just have a simple, natural remedy to help get things, moving again. So here's a really straightforward remedy. You take about 300 grams of fresh potatoes, wash them really, really well, and this is the important part: do not peel them. Then you just blend them up into a raw juice and drink a glass of about 180 cc right away. Now, if the taste is a little too earthy for you, no problem. Just add a little bit of honey to sweeten it up.
Okay, but a really important heads up here. This remedy isn't for everybody. Raw potatoes do have a tiny amount of a natural compound called an alkaloid, so it's not a good idea for kids, since their digestive systems are still developing. And you absolutely have to drink it fresh. Don't make a big batch and try to save it for later.
All right, so enough with the remedies. Let's take all this cool knowledge and bring it from the medicine cabinet right into the kitchen. How can we get all these amazing benefits into meals that are not only healthy, but also delicious and comforting for the whole family? You know, Dr. Hugh from our source material really captures this feeling perfectly. He talks about his student days cooking a big pot of potato stew that would last for days. It's more than just food, right? It's comfort in a bowl. It's that warm, hearty feeling. And you can make that yourself with some really simple ingredients. A couple of potatoes, a carrot, some pork leg, or hey, beef or chicken work just as well. And then just a few things you probably already have, like soy sauce and rice wine. The method is pretty classic. You get your meat and carrots going, add your liquid and seasonings, and let it simmer away. But here's the pro tip: don't add the potatoes at the beginning. Wait and add the potato chunks later in the cooking process. That is the secret to keeping them from turning into mush, so you get these perfect tender chunks in every bite. Now, if you don't have time for a slow simmering stew, no problem. How about a super quick stir fry? This is one of those classic, homey dishes that just hits the spot, and it only needs a few ingredients. Okay, listen up, because here's a simple little step that is a total game changer. After you slice your potatoes really thin, give the strips a quick rinse under some water. Just a rinse, don't let them soak. This washes off that extra surface starch, and that is the secret to getting crispy, perfect potato strips that don't get all soggy and stuck together. And that little splash of vinegar at the end, it gives it the perfect tangy kick. What about snack time? Come on, forget those bags of frozen fries from the store. You can make these amazing roasted potato wedges right at home. They're so much healthier, they're way cheaper, and you can throw whatever seasonings you want on them. For the best flavor and a nice boost of fiber, definitely leave the skin on. Just toss them in olive oil and your seasonings, spread them out on a pan, and here's the key: you have to flip them halfway through baking. That's how you get that perfect golden, crispy texture on all sides. Trust me.
Okay, but before you run off to the kitchen to try all this, we need to talk about one last thing. And this is not a suggestion, this is an absolutely critical safety rule that everyone who eats potatoes needs to know.
This probably looks pretty familiar. We've all seen a potato like this in the bottom of the bag. But if you see this, you need to know that this potato is not safe to eat. Period.
So what's the big deal? It all comes down to one word: solanine. It's a mildly toxic compound that's naturally in all potatoes. But when that potato starts to see the light and sprout, the amount of solanine just skyrockets.
And I'm not talking about a small increase. We're talking about a 5 to 6 times jump in the toxin levels. That is more than enough to cause some really awful stuff, like vomiting, stomach pain, and diarrhea. This is seriously not something you want to mess with. So let's make this crystal clear. Here are the rules. If a potato has sprouted, you throw the entire thing away. I know it's tempting, but do not just cut off the sprouts. That toxin has already spread through the whole potato. And just as a quick side note, potatoes do have something called oxalates, so if you're prone to kidney stones, it's a good idea to enjoy them in moderation.
So, there you have it. From a surprising weight management tool and a digestive remedy to a comforting family stew and a really crucial safety warning, the potato is so much more than just a boring starch. So I'll just leave you with this. Now that you know all its secrets, are you going to look at the Earth's apple a little differently?